To experience true freedom on stage or even during rehearsals, you can't really go without a reliable wireless system. But with so many options out there, finding one that actually performs well and makes sense in real-life use can be difficult. So the NUX B-8 caught my attention because it does several things very differently compared to most other systems on the market. When you want to go wireless, there are basically two options: analog or digital. Analog systems often require licenses depending on the region you're in, which makes them impractical for most bands, I would say. So that leaves digital, or in other words, Wi-Fi. Just like the B-8, which runs on 2.4 GHz. Digital systems are license-free and legal to use worldwide, which is great because it's one less thing to worry about. But since there are a ton of digital systems out there, here's what really drew my attention to the B-8. Number one, the belt pack instead of a guitar buck. First of all, I absolutely love that NUX went with this belt pack transmitter instead of a guitar buck design. I've said that in previous videos. The trend towards guitar bucks is understandable, but I personally hate them. They dangle around, they look ugly, and sometimes just get in the way. The B-8 transmitter is tiny, sturdy, clips onto your guitar strap securely, and most importantly, it just feels professional. Especially this screw lock cable on the transmitter is great because it prevents you from accidentally unplugging it, which shows that NUX actually thought about real-life gig situations when they designed this. Number two, intelligent frequency hopping. Most wireless systems require you to pick between fixed channels. The B-8 does things a little bit differently. Once you turn it on, it directly connects to the transmitter and it constantly scans for the cleanest available frequencies and switches automatically in real time without you ever hearing a dropout or noise. Naturally, I wanted to test how reliable this works in a somewhat realistic scenario, but since I didn't want to wait until the next live show, I created the worst possible environment I could for the B-8 by turning on every single 2.4 GHz device I had, from other guitar wireless systems to multiple in-ear systems, phones, laptop and Wi-Fi routers. And even in this noisy environment, the B-8 stayed rock solid. No dropouts thanks to the intelligent frequency hopping. Number three, 6 stability levels. The B-8 lets you choose between 6 stability modes from lowest latency to highest latency. Now, as soon as people hear something about latency, they tend to lose their minds. But let me just say that even on the highest setting, I couldn't notice any latency between my playing and what comes out of the amplifier, even though I almost always play to a click track. It's simply a matter of choosing how aggressive you want the frequency hopping to be. Number four, magnetic charging. One of my favorite things charging the transmitter is super simple. You place it on top of the receiver, it locks into place with these really strong magnets and charges automatically without you having to worry that the transmitter accidentally could fall off when you might bump it. Of course, you can also charge it via USB-C, which is a great backup option. And speaking of backup, gear can always fail, so I love when manufacturers think ahead. The B-8 receiver has a normal input jack, so if anything goes wrong with the wireless connection, you can instantly switch to a cable without removing anything from your pedalboard, and you still get to use the integrated tuner and boost features. This is extremely useful and again shows that the unit was designed for real-life gig situations. Perfect transition to the next point. The B-8 receiver is not just a receiver, it's also a tuner and a clean boost pedal. The tuner is fast and accurate, and the boost lets you raise your signal up to plus 12 dB, which is great for solos or pushing the front of your amp a bit harder. This means you can save a lot of space on your pedalboard by replacing 3 devices with 1. The B-8 also includes several extra features. You can upload your own boot up image, which is more of a fun gimmick, but still pretty cool. And the pedal orientation can be rotated if you need to mount it in a specific direction on your pedal board. The receiver housing is fully made out of metal and feels extremely solid, and I have zero concerns about using it on tour or taking it on the road. Now, the first actual downside, the cable. I know I just praised it for being so solid, but the devil is in the detail here. It is extremely solid, but also extremely unique. It uses a 6.3mm to 3.5mm screw lock connector that only NUX uses. Currently, there are no official spare cables available, and you're also limited to a straight jack and no angled options. However, I always tell guitarists, learn how to solder your own cables. It's so easy, it saves money, and it's just incredibly useful. So I built my own custom angled B-8 cable with the screw lock connector. Still, my suggestion to NUX would be to please sell replaceable cables in the future. So in conclusion, the B-8 is honestly one of the most well thought out and practical wireless systems I've tested so far. It's reliable, sturdy, and will definitely be my go-to system on stage and at home, and I can absolutely recommend you to check it out yourself. For current prices, check the links in the description as always. Close observers might have spotted a second wireless system by NUX in this video, which is the B7 Pro in-ear wireless system. So if that's something that might interest you, check out my review on that one right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.